Welcome. What is up, Mixer? Welcome to a special edition of This Week in the Mixer. I am joined by Jeff, the one and only. Let's just get right into it. First off, we're gonna have you defend your interesting draft strategy. Yes.
All right.
So tell me about it. It's a 3 wide receiver league.
Right.
It's PPR.
Exactly.
And you started with 4 running backs.
Yeah.
Tell me about your mindset there.
Well, so here's the thing. I go PPR heavy, wide receiver heavy, almost every draft I do. Right? Like, if you look at my MFL 10s, if you look at the other leagues that I'm in, like the Shady Nasty League that I'm in with Matt and them, super wide receiver heavy. So this draft, I had one target, and that was Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
When he fell to me in the second round, that already meant I wasn't getting one of my, like, elite wide receivers, right? So the only other person I would have taken there was Keenan, who was available, and Danny took him right after, right? So then it came around, and just third round, this is just more of a matter of me playing in too many leagues. I would have taken Tyreek, but I have him in like 4 other leagues. And so I don't like hitching my wagon to one player per se.
If it's one player to hit you to, Tyreek would have been a good one.
I mean, that's true.
But that's hindsight analysis. So.
Exactly. Then when it comes back around, you know, and obviously at the time, like in my mind, I had Jordan above, or I had Howard above the other running backs available.
Okay.
Right? So then it comes back around. I was really hoping that like Amari would fall.
You had Howard above Mixon?
It was a toss-up, kind of.
I just know you're high on Mixon. So.
Yeah, I love me some Joe. But I was really hoping in the 4th, though, that Amari would fall or Russ would fall, because neither had been taken throughout the first 3. I didn't expect it. It was more of a hope. It didn't happen.
You're kind of grateful Amari didn't fall. Amari DB Cooper?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then when that didn't happen, it gets to me, and I really like Chris Hogan. I really like Allen Robinson. And to be completely honest, if I weren't drunk at the time, re-looking at this draft, I can tell you that my 4th round and 5th round would have been Chris Hogan, then Allen Robinson, instead of Alex Collins and then Chris Hogan. Okay,
so it wasn't something you set out to do. It's just kind of how the draft.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
it's kind of interesting that you had the balls, though, if you were targeting Christian McCaffrey to go at the top of the snake and not the back end. I would have went for the back end if I wanted to leave the draft with McCaffrey. So
I'm with
props to you.
I think the thing that got me was that, like, it's a super flex league, super receiver heavy, and people recently in the last couple years have really trended receiver heavy.
Yeah.
So I thought with how many running backs there were likely ranked ahead of McCaffrey for a lot of people, I thought there was a decent chance he'd be there at the end of the 2nd. That's why I did it.
Nice. If Gronk wouldn't have made it to me, you wouldn't have got McCaffrey. Just saying.
I'm lucky there.
So, good breakdown of your first couple rounds. I now understand the running backs, but what's up with this tight end at the end?
Here's the thing.
We had I guess I had heard of him before, but I had pretty much forgotten about him. Forgot that he had switched teams. He was pretty irrelevant when he was on Seattle.
I'm with you.
Behind Jimmy Graham. But, yeah,
so,
why? Just
so here's the thing with tight end for me. I'm a fan of one tight end. And if I don't get that guy, I really don't care. And that one tight end is Gronk. Right. So I really had no shot at Gronk because he was never going to make it back to me in the 2nd round, and I probably was taking McCaffrey over him anyway. So then, you know, looking at this, I also too, when I was drafting, it was off memory because I was at the wedding. Like, I didn't have a computer or anything in front of me. So like, it was hard for me to see the whole board and see who was there all the time. But looking at this, you know, going back over this, Ertz is the only other option that I probably take, just because Kelsey went so early compared to where I would have taken him. But Ertz, I probably still don't even take him till like the 7th round, and he goes before me in the 6th. So then after that, I'm not a huge Jimmy Graham fan. I think he has big potential this year, but like, I'm just not.
Yeah.
I wasn't sold on it.
So you're just gonna wait till the end, basically.
Essentially, I was just waiting it out, and then
Luke Wilson was the only guy drunk Jeff could remember.
Exactly. Well, there was one other one.
Jack Doyle?
No. It was Njoku.
Okay.
Where'd he go? He went in the 12th.
Okay.
I'm a huge Njoku fan, but he was gone before I was going to pick him. And so then it was just, to be honest, Luke Wilson, just a dart. He's super athletic for a tight end. He was going to a place that lost their starting tight end, or their starting tight end left, so they had like 80 targets open. And it was more of a just like, he fits the mold of a tight end 1 in terms of athleticism. Maybe he can work, right? But, you know, that's why you cut him after week 1.
Even though he has a fraud thrown to him.
Well, I mean, that fraud can keep up 3 fantasy-relevant wide receivers.
Yeah.
So.
Good point. Well, I think we got a little more insight into there, and now he's on waivers for anybody.
Exactly. Also, for anyone that questioned the Luke Wilson draft pick, I have a few other picks that people should probably look at as well. And we'll just go with the first one. And this is by Mason, who I actually, after the draft, told Mason I loved his draft, looking at it. But there's one pick in the 15th round who wasn't on a team, still isn't on a team, and doesn't look like he's going to play this year at all, and that's Dez Bryant.
And he's still rostered, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so. There's also, you know, that's the other thing, too.
Mason believes in him.
True. And, you know, that's great. There's also the...
He's still living off of the glory of the semifinals from 2 years ago.
Exactly.
We'll never forget.
You know, you also have, like, Ronald Jones, who his head coach and running back coach came out during preseason and said he was pretty bad.
And has been inactive for the first 2 games.
Right. Then we also have John Kelly, who has also been inactive for the first couple games. Gates, a little understandable, but, like, how do you take someone that needs a walker on the field? You know? Not to pick on you because I'm a Cam Meredith fan, but he's also another one who's been inactive for a couple games.
I'm disappointed in that one.
And then my last draft complaint is, how does somebody draft 3 quarterbacks, 2 of which won't even play the first couple weeks of the season? It makes no sense.
Because every draft needs a legend. Danny was just doing his part.
I got you. Okay. I'm good with that.
And we need a new Justin. So thanks, Danny.
I'm trying to fill that role.
All right. Got any weeks circled on your schedule for the season coming up?
To be honest, not really. This week I think is interesting. I play Anthony, who's been very strong so far. I've had one completely shitty week and one pretty good week. So, you know, we'll see. I think starting to see some trends come out.
Yeah. A lot of people are still trying to find their roster, figure it out.
Exactly.
And the players, too. They're still getting used to being back on the field.
Yeah.
A lot of them didn't take that many reps in preseason.
I have to say I was pretty mad at you on my drive over here.
Why is that?
Because I was going to pick up, what is it, Tyler Boyd? And I looked earlier today and he was available and didn't pull the trigger because I wasn't sure who to drop for him. And then when I finally figured out who I was going to drop for him, I realized that you'd taken him already.
I slotted Joe Mixon into the IR slot. Got Tyler Boyd, didn't have to drop anybody. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have. So, pro plays. Any trade targets? Anybody besides Joe Mixon that you're after?
I want Emmanuel Sanders from Danny.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to him a little bit. You know, we're in negotiations, but we'll see.
I probably couldn't get Emmanuel Sanders from Danny for Antonio Brown right now.
I mean, trade targets, it's tough because I know we all value people differently. Looking at my draft, I clearly value players differently than most everyone in the league. So it's really hard for me to make an offer that I think people are going to see as fair kind of thing. So that's why I actually hold back on a lot of offers because I don't want to offend anyone. But I will say that there's almost everyone on my team is available. So if you do want someone, let me know and we can talk about it.
There we go. Samesies. Danny, I want David Johnson, but don't come at me with you want Antonio Brown, Joe Mixon, Matthew Stafford, and Gronk, because
that's probably not happening.
It's a little too much.
Maybe leave Gronk off.
Yeah, leave Gronk off, then we'll talk. All right. Good stuff. Little insight into what it is to be a Mixer member. week to week. Let's look at week 3, what we have coming up. First matchup we'll look at is Sean versus Zach. This is one of probably the most underrated rivalries in the league. It all started off, I think Zach lost to Sean in the regular season twice in year 1, and those were his only 2 losses or something like that. And then it lost to him in the playoffs the next year when he was trying to repeat. And then it took Zach like I think 6 tries before he finally got a win against Sean. And Sean was like the only team who could regularly beat Zach, and they're just always they're the kindest smack talking rivalry we have in the mixer. So it's always fun to watch them, and their games are usually close. A big game that we're gonna have to watch for this matchup is the New Orleans Atlanta game. Sean has both Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara, and they're at Atlanta, which I think is the highest over-under on the week, which is like 57 points, which is crazy. So Falcons have no safeties basically, and
their best linebackers out.
And Drew Brees is throwing the ball around like crazy. So big potential for Sean to put up a lot of points there.
He also has Pittsburgh at Tampa.
Yep, Big Ben, Tampa Bay, Monday night. We're gonna see a little Fitz magic in prime time. We're gonna see Big Ben chasing. Are the Steelers gonna implode? It's gonna be fun to see if their matchup comes down to that game on Monday night.
Does Juju continue his takeover of the #1 role in Pittsburgh?
God, I hope not. As much as I love Juju. So who you got winning this one, Sean or Zach? Sean's leading the league in points.
To be honest, just looking at their teams, I'm taking Sean. I just like his team more than I like Zach's.
Hey, what's up? He's a shit pumper. It's all right. We're doing a little video here. It's all.
Hey, no, are you?
I'm Jeff.
I'm Lee. Nice to meet you, Jeff.
Nice to meet you.
Coach of our of the team that FC Wine Mixer is out on loan to this season. Anyway, next up we got Jess versus Mason. Melvin Gordon has been carrying Jess for her first couple matchups. She lost the first game. Sorry, Jess. Won the second one thanks to Melvin. He's facing a tough matchup on the road in the fight for LA. I'm gonna be there. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, nice.
Yep. She also has Amari DB Cooper heading east to Miami. Oakland doesn't travel well.
That's also for a 10 a.m. game.
We'll see. What are you guys doing? We are somewhat podcasting.
Oh,
yeah.
Are you guys really?
Yeah, a little bit. You want to say hi?
Hello.
It's all good. It's all good. So yeah, where was I? And then Jess also has underperforming Dak at Seattle. I'm really interested in that one. It's like the
Legion of Boom might make a comeback this week.
You think so?
No, but
did you see the graphic for Seattle where
Thanos?
Where it's Thanos and then all the defense? Brutal. So that's gonna be interesting to watch, to see how Dak does and just to see how Seattle does against Dallas. It's kind of like both teams are borderline irrelevant, so somebody needs to do something if they have any chance of remaining in the NFL profile to this season. And what else? Drew Brees and Julio at Atlanta, or in that Atlanta-New Orleans game for Mason. So big points potential there in that game that we spoke of before in the previous matchup. And then Stephon Diggs at Buffalo for Mason. Does Buffalo even have a defense? And Thielen for Jess at Buffalo. Battle of the Minnesota receivers on this side. So interesting ends, interesting pieces of each offense for these two people. Who do you have, Jeff? Jess or Mason?
I'm probably going Mason here, especially the way it is right now. Jess needs to get Jay Ajayi out of the lineup because he's projected for 0 at the moment.
Well,
but I have faith she'll do that.
Questionable.
True. I have faith she'll make that change. But just based on their team matchups, I think Mason's players have much easier matchups this week than Jess's do overall. And I just think they're in a better position to score points.
So you got Mason.
Yep.
I think we're in an agreement so far. I had Sean in the first one, Mason in this one. Both by, I think it's going to be a pretty decent spread in those games, unfortunately. But I always root for the underdogs, so good luck to those underdogs. Speaking of underdogs, Jeff versus Anthony. I'm most interested to see, will the freaking ship pumping machine that Mahomes is continue this week? Is he going to throw? I mean, he threw for 4 in week
clearly
1.
He's throwing for 8 touchdowns this week.
He threw for 6 in week 2, so 8. Or is it going to be like exponential, like 4, 6, 12?
He might go like Fibonacci on it and just go 10, right? And then the week after go 16.
That would be something. Is Le'Veon Bell going to be back?
No. Le'Veon's not coming back till like week 11.
Are you going to pick up Luke Wilson for a spot start?
Not this week.
All right.
If he has his breakout game, I might bid $100 on it.
Now, Anthony does have Tyreek.
I know.
Are you worried about Tyreek siphoning some points there?
A little bit. The concern there.
So you're a Sammy Watkins fan this week?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not mad if Tyreek scores. It's just that Anthony comes out better in that matchup. But I mean, like, it is what it is. It's kind of how you nullify a quarterback too, is by having one of their receivers. But hopefully, you know, like McCaffrey, James Conner, keep it up. You know, and if Aguilar and Galladay can stay getting the targets that they get.
I think I set the over-under on receptions for McCaffrey and Connor, probably 30, 25 or 30.
Between the two of them?
Yeah, it's just.
Well, I mean, McCaffrey might cover 20 of them at one
running
point
backs
this year,
are the new running backs are the new slot receivers. They're just insane, the number of receptions they're getting this year.
Pretty much.
Not enough Todd Gurley's in the world. There is one on Anthony's team, though.
I know.
And they're probably going to be up on the Chargers, probably going to be pounding the rock a lot, wanting to win that battle for LA. Does that worry you at all?
Oh, definitely. Especially the Chargers without Bosa. Makes a huge difference.
Yeah, where is Bosa?
He's hurt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Gurley puts up a 30-pointer this week, to be honest. The only thing really holding him back so far is his lack of receptions. He only has, I think, 8 targets on the year. Whereas, like, you know, McCaffrey pretty much doubled that last week. Saquon doubled that last week. So, you know, it's only 2 weeks in. But Gurley's clearly the workhorse. He's probably going to end up with at least 1 touchdown, if not 2. So I definitely wouldn't be surprised. You think he's going for 4?
We'll see. We'll see. Chargers can't stop the run.
True.
It seems. And Matt Ryan, again, New Orleans, Atlanta. So
yeah,
for Anthony,
for me, I hope that New Orleans defense comes back.
I think this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a close game. Jeff, your team, I don't know what happened week 1, but week 2 definitely brought it. I think it's going to be close. We know you're biased. You're going to take yourself in this game. I think Anthony is going to do just enough to get by in this one. I think it's going to be close, but I think Anthony's with Matt Ryan in that game that both teams are probably going to go for 50. Tyreek's going to get enough from Mahomes, and I think Gurley's probably going to have a big day.
I'm actually with you on that.
That's just going to do it. Put Anthony over the top. He deserves a win. But then again, maybe not. Maybe he's just going to be that one team that scores a ton of points and doesn't win. You know,
I really hope that happens. I hope Anthony goes winless this year, but is essentially the second high week every week, so he gets in on points.
Yep. But thank God for that point. Thank God for us voting for that rule. Matt versus Jake. Do we care about this game?
I mean, Other than wanting Matt to lose just because it's Matt? Not really.
It is the rematch of the championship game last year.
Yeah, that also doesn't get me all that excited.
Yeah, I don't care. Let's move on. Me versus Danny. Danny's a 128-point favorite currently based on projections.
Yeah, because your team clearly isn't showing up this week.
Nope. Well, not yet. They're resting.
They're all taking an Antonio Brown off day?
Yes. They're following the lead of their captain.
All right. Nice.
The veteran on the team.
There you go.
And enjoying a much-needed day off after. I mean, they took last week off. So what's a few more days off leading up to this game? Danny gets Wentz back, so there's that. He has one quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mariota should be playing, but we'll see how he does. He hasn't lived up to the expectations for a while.
Not at all.
And he's at Jacksonville, so good luck with that, Mariota. Maybe throw Pierre Garçon in that slot or in that Superflex spot again. We'll see how that goes. Another note about this matchup: should David Johnson just quit football and become a Twitch streamer? Because I think there's more potential for him there than playing on this Arizona team.
Well, with Mike McCoy as your offensive coordinator, you can't really do a whole lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm actually with that. David Johnson, the Twitch streamer, equally as valuable as 2016 David Johnson.
Yeah, and hope maybe Larry Fitzgerald can, I don't know.
Larry and his hamstring can rehab.
Do a master's program with me at University of Phoenix.
Exactly.
Do you have a prediction for this matchup?
To
Danny
be honest,
gonna score negative points.
I don't think he can do that.
Okay.
I think that's out of the question. But there's not a lot I like about Danny's team right now. His receivers don't have the best matchups. You know, and I love Keenan. I love Emmanuel. They're both in tough spots this week. Keenan against the Rams. You know, Emmanuel against Baltimore. And the Ravens, while I don't think they're a great team, are, you know, somewhat decent. Like, they have moments. Mm-hmm. And especially being at home, I think they'll probably show up a little bit. The Mariota thing, report out today that he still has issues feeling in his hand right now. Like, not a good look.
If you're a receiver or quarterback.
Exactly. You know, and then I think, I mean, Danny may have no other choice but to start, you know, Garçon and then Westbrook. You know? Who knows? I mean, you might be able to win just playing, you know, Antonio Brown and Gronk this week.
That'd be nice. That'd be a baller move if I just slot two people in and get a W. But we need the points, so, or at least I do. Can't rely on just getting on a record because fluky shit happens.
Exactly.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not going to offer a prediction for that game. We'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be close. Good luck, Danny. Hopefully it'll be fun. So yeah, that wraps up the preview for week 3.
Okay.
We both suffered. You suffered a tough loss in week 1. Then I went down in week 2, which made me think about coping with losses, techniques.
Yeah.
We all have our ways. Maybe we do some tips, some pointers, some ways that we cope with losses to help out the mixer, because I'm going to be dealing out some losses this year. You're going to be dealing out some losses this year. Maybe we'll do snake draft style.
All right.
We'll do top 5.
Okay.
You go first. What's your number 1, your first round pick way of dealing with a loss? Don't look at my sheet.
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym. That's a good one. I like that. So I got the end of the snake. So my number 1, shower cry. Nothing good like a shower cry.
There you go.
And you can do it any time, because usually, well, yeah, pretty much anywhere. Gyms have a shower.
True.
Home has a shower. I'm usually at home when
some
my
works
team
have
loses.
a shower too.
Yeah, my work has a shower. Just I don't know, come up with some explanation for your coworkers why you're crying in the shower.
Exactly.
They won't look at you differently. Second round, burying the game tape. Classic.
Yeah.
All the great coaches do it. They get out there, walk the team out, bury the game tape. That week's behind them. On to the next week.
Exactly.
What's your number 2?
So this is going to be a specific one, but you can take it. I'll give you the general as well. Just know that you eliminated the defending champion Matt Hale from the baseball playoffs. That'll
reliving past glories.
Exactly. Yeah, that'll make you feel good all the time.
Yeah, I've heard of some players when they're in a slump, they go and watch previous game tapes when they were crushing it, just to remind themselves that they can do it. Like when I'm in a slump on PUBG, I look at my chicken dinner screenshots just to remind myself
that you can do it.
I've gotten there. That's a good one. What's next?
Next is distract yourself.
Okay.
Like I use my dogs.
There you go.
Right? We got 3 of them.
Too soon.
I know, I'm sorry. We got to get you another one. That should be a Mixer gift to Rob.
There's no replacing.
I know there's not.
The Chuck. Hashtag CC08-18. It's going to happen. His name's getting on the dirt.
There you go.
That's a good one. Distracting yourself. I like that. I was going to put that, but you stole it.
I'm sorry.
Throwing the ball for my dog, but I can't do that anymore. So
I'm sorry.
My number 3 is crushing sweets, specifically like brownies or cupcakes.
There you go.
It just, I don't know, something about it. I usually eat pretty damn healthy, but when I'm depressed from losing a fantasy matchup, the sweets get me there. 4th, chicken dinners. It goes without saying. What's your 4th and 5th?
I mean, really my 4th is kind of along with yours, like winning at something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have a ping pong table at work, so like I come out after a loss, I just got to put a beating on someone at the ping pong table.
I like it.
You know, it happens.
I used to have a ping pong table.
And then 5th is embrace the depression and just sleep all day. You know, that's like a last resort. But like if you can't do any of the others, then you just roll under the covers, pillow under your head, or on your face, and just embrace it.
In racing, we call that turning into the spin.
Yeah, exactly.
Just rolling with it. My last one, goodie but an oldie. Probably could have went in the first round, but you got to know your opponent. It's just drinking heavily.
Are you playing?
That's it.
Nice.
We got to get to our game. Thanks for joining us.
I know.
See you next week.